Good day, everyone, all over the world. Welcome back to our show. It's another episode of Dignity Discourse on our TV channel, Dignity TV. Today, we have two special guests, like we usually bring, dignified personalities on this channel. Today, I have in the studio Alaji Semiu Animashawun, and I have Amina Animashawun also. Welcome to the studio, Alaji Animashawun.
Thank you.
And welcome, Amina.
Thank you.
They are both in charge of Solape Animashawun Foundation, that is solely helping people that are in need with various type of programs and materials that could go a long way in assisting people. So we'll be talking pretty much about the organization. I will be also, what this program is all about, to inspire the younger ones on understanding that it pays to work with dignity and, understand hard work pays also. So welcome, Alaji.
Thank you.
Welcome,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to ask, before I ask, can you please tell our viewers more about who Alaji Animashawun is?
My name is Semiu Animashawun. Originally, I was in Nigeria before migrating to Canada a couple of years ago. I'm married with 3 kids, a boy and a girl. I work in the auto industry, and I'm the founder and the board member of Solape Animashawun Foundation. It's a foundation set up in memory of my first late wife. She passed away in 2009. And we just put it in our memory, and we try to give back to the community.
Okay. Amina, you want to tell our viewers who Amina is?
Yes, so hello everyone. My name is Amina Animashawun, and I am the chairperson for the Solape Animashawun Foundation. Under 30, grew up here in Toronto, Canada for basically my whole life. I have always been very big on community work as well as volunteering. So this foundation gives us the opportunity to do this without any restraints, since we are doing it for the communities that we know and for the people who need it the most. I'm just a young person trying to move forward in life while supporting and helping the people around me, whether it's here in Canada or in Nigeria.
Okay, thank you so much, Alaji. Thank you. Amina.
Yes.
Talking about community help, I know you're so much into the foundation. What does the foundation do? How do people get to benefit from the foundation, and what are the challenges? Okay, let's start from what exactly the foundation is doing.
Yeah. So basically, right now we aren't a foundation that specifies or only helps a certain group of people. We've actually helped quite a few. We started originally back in 2010 with an organization here in Ontario called SCAGO. So Sickle Cell Awareness Group of Ontario, by giving students who have sickle cell scholarships, a little bit of a grant to help them in their post-secondary education. Mostly students who are studying nursing. I know when we first started out, a lot of people thought maybe my late mother had sickle cell, but it wasn't that. She volunteered with the organization prior to her passing, and she was also a nurse. So it just made sense to kind of come together with that organization. And from working with them, we've been able to grow over the years, being in contact with different people, especially right now in Nigeria. I would say one of the biggest organizations we're helping is the Care People's Foundation. And they have children who have disabilities. It's like a motherless baby home in Ibadan. So we've been helping them, sponsoring them with, and I think some people think when you hear a non-for-profit organization that it always means monetary, but sometimes the physical materials are what matter. So in 2020, early 2020, just before the pandemic, when we were in Nigeria, we actually donated some desks for them to use in their classroom. For us, it seemed like something that was small, but the joy on their face was priceless, because they all had their individual desks. They can put their stuff in it and everything. We've also helped out another home recently, actually in July of this year. that has they do trainings for children with disabilities, and really giving them, the tools, whether they want to learn how to be a tailor, they want to learn how to be a mechanic, anything like that. This school does it for them. Yes, exactly. And even houses them, because as we know, sometimes when people have disabilities, it can be a lot for parents, especially when parents are working. So that school came into actualization because they wanted to help the parents. So it's like, okay, you can still work. Let's give your child an education. Let's give them the tools to realize they're more than just disability. So that's been absolutely amazing. So we help out anyone that kind of comes to us like, hey, we see your foundation. Can you support us? Once we meet with them, have conversations, it's like, okay, how can we support you? What can we bring to the table? So that's what we do. Yeah.
Okay. I like still talking about the foundation. I know, your wife of blessed memory, it is because of her the foundation has been established. That has there been any points that you feel, why are we doing this? There are some constraints that happens, that comes around, that you feel like probably giving up, like, have you ever encountered something like that? Is the support okay? How have you been managing?
Basically, I've never have a regret about it, or my children too, because it was what she believed in. Before she passed away, she was the kind of person that wanted to make an impact in somebody's life. So we could just continue the legacy. So, but the only thing that sometimes I remember, the first year we did it with Cargo, the following year, things were tough because she wasn't there. So I said, hey, I don't think I want to continue. But God so good, the president of Scargo then, Mrs. Landy Tunjaja, she's doing a tremendous job in the organization.
Foundation.
She said, no, Alaji, if you don't have the money, we will do it, and anytime you can get it. And before that time, God made it, we were able to do it, and we continue like that. But the only thing that sometimes I've been able to get over now is that a lot of people think when you have a foundation, you're doing it for your own personal gain. That is the issue we had in the beginning. But sometimes when I want to back out, or we want to back out, you always see people that say, no, you can't back out, you have to go. So we've gotten to a stage now that we're not backing out. We never even wanted to back out, but we've gotten to a stage without backing out. Because sometimes now you see people calling from, you don't even know them, and they said where they need help. Or people that say, we see what you are doing, we want to be part of it. Or you see the issue of going to do something, and like my daughter say, you see the face of the people you are doing it for. You can't value that thing.
So it's more about humanity.
It's more about value. You see people that appreciate it. So that is about it.
So okay, in managing, I understand the obstacles that comes with it. It's like a family thing. Everybody comes together to make this work and to continue the legacy, just like you said. Do you still think you need other people's support, or who are those that you think you still want to partner with that can still make the foundation grow more?
The support is most of the support is you have to have the passion. That is what I believe. If you don't have the passion, you can't get involved. So basically what I do, I look at people that are very close to me. So most of them are my friends and family friends. I go to them if you want to do something, and I tell them, I build them. This is how much you have to pay. And they are willing. Those are people that know me.
Okay.
When we started, like my daughter said, like 2010, we were basically doing it in Nigeria. We didn't raise funds. And by the way, my family by itself has spent over 30,000 Canadian dollars. That is myself and my kid. We've spent it. So like 2-3 years ago, the company that I work with, they said they wanted to get involved. So when we do anything, they match it for us. And sometimes they get product because they sell auto parts. They say, okay, we're giving you this, use it to raise funds.
At a discounted rate.
At a discounted rate. They give, most of the time, they even give it to us for free. And they say, use it to raise funds for the foundation. And I also before going to Nigeria, I have a friend is in London, England. Somebody we've known each other for over 40 years. I was talking to him, I said, I wanted to do this in Nigeria, but I'm afraid of what is going to come out of it. I don't want people thinking it's because of the money and stuff. And he said, why are you thinking like this, Alaji? People that know you and know what you stand for, they trust you, they get. Yeah, so and at that point in time, you say he too was coming to Nigeria and he spent over 300,000 naira just for the foundation. So he gave us, and this year too, things we've been doing, anytime we are doing things, is always going with us. When you see people like that, and also in Canada, we have a friend, a close friend of mine. He owns a gold shipping and company. Pastor K, anytime we need anything, he's always there for us. When you see people like that, then you have no choice but to keep on going.
Keep pushing, because you have people that are supporting you.
And also, being here today is part of being, in believing in us.
Yes.
So that's the way it is.
Amina, for you as a young person who grew up all our life here in Canada, how does it feel, joining your dad for this foundation? And at times it's not always this way. Mm-hmm. He has his own passion. He has what he believes in. It does not necessarily mean you have to be part of whatever he's doing. What is giving you this drive to
I think for me, growing up and seeing both of my parents in the community is what kind of drove me to want to grow up and do the same thing. So for me, I guess, especially doing the foundation and having such a strong tie in Nigeria, kind of goes back to the saying of charity begins at home. In order to really impact and make a difference and actually get involved, like he's saying, the support, the drive to continue, when you do it for the people who look like you, who are around you, it's easier to do it for others because you've already gone through, we all know that in every culture, anybody will tell you that the toughest people to work with are the people of that culture. When you pass that, when you're able to get over it, the fights, the arguments, people not believing in you, when you go to do it for outsiders, it's that much easier. And for me, like even right now, I work in retail. Whenever people ask me, why do you do retail? Like, customers can be rude. I'm like, that's okay if they want to be rude. Everybody goes through stuff. But that smile when they're happy that I've helped them, that's what I need. That's all I need completely. So for me, and even to faith-wise, another reason why the foundation was brought, in Islam for Muslims, we believe that, yes, a person's life ends when they've died. But the only thing that continues to kind of go to them, the only two things that continue is prayer from those who love them and charity. Alms, that's what, exactly. When you do it on behalf of that person, wherever that person is, it goes and meets them, the rewards of it. So that coupled with everything is what makes me continue. My father and I, over the years, we've kind of been sitting down, getting our passions, and sometimes we do something that I like, sometimes we do something that his likes, sometimes somebody who contacted us. It's just how we do it. As long as we have the ability to, we never say no. And even sometimes when we don't have the ability to, if we know somebody else who's more capable, we'll say, okay, contact, exactly, just to make it easier, because we don't want to ever turn anybody away, because everybody always needs help. That's just how the world is. But it's how can we help them, or even how can they help us? We've learned a lot through different organizations that we've been working with, different people that we've met. And that kind of that's what kind of keeps me going. I'm learning a lot. Sometimes when people see me, they don't believe my age. They think I'm somebody who's a lot older, but it's just because it's not. It's experience. It's all about experience. So, yes.
I'm still on you. It's wonderful when you see young people with the drive, like the type that you have, the kind of energy that you're putting into, the whole thing. Some young people want to take the easy way out, like, no, I don't want to do this. It's your passion. It's what you believe in. Have you ever had a period where, like, your age group, your mates are saying, oh, why are you doing this? You're too young to be. Have you ever had such experience?
100%. And I think because of how people are raised, they think that in life there's only one goal, and that's to be successful. And they don't understand that you have to go through the mud to get to that success. It never comes easily. And if it comes easily, you have to sit down and see, is this a clean success? Am I doing it right? So I've met a lot of people that, you know, they want to ask me like, oh, why are you doing this? But you know, you don't have to, you could do this later or leave it to the adults. And I tell them, well, you have your own passions, I have my own. And even sometimes too, I let them realize that if you and I come together, yes, we do two different things, but those two things they interchange. They can happen. There's no industry in the world right now that works solely on its own. It needs support from other places. And that's something that I've been trying to let the younger generation know. You can't always do things alone. You need to find support. You need to find community, even if it's only for one project. You'll see how that one thing helps you to grow. I've been fortunate enough that the people I went to like high school and university with are people who are right now, like if you saw us back then, especially some of them, you would never believe that they'd be owning their own companies right now, traveling the world and having conversations with people. And because in high school, it just didn't seem serious, right? Everybody was going through their own struggles and everything like that. But now these are people who are making six-figure salaries under the age of 30. And most of us are all Black kids. So it's something that you never really see. And so a lot of us have been going back into the community to let the people younger than us know that, hey, they may tell you you can't do it, but this is living proof. We're doing it every single day. It's hard. It wasn't easy, but we're still doing it. And I think even too, like, I find that my generation and the one underneath is a lot more forgiving than the generations that came before us. We'll see somebody who has, let's say, for example, been incarcerated and still welcome that person into the community because they have learned the hard way. And that knowledge can also help us to make sure we stay on the straight and narrow. So I've always been asked every single time. And at this point, people who know me know there's no point in asking. Because half the time when you ask me, I'm going to change your mind.
So
yeah.
You know, all about that. But it's amazing when you see, you know, young people these days, they always want to take the faster route. They want to do things differently, thinking they want to be smarter than everybody else.
Yes.
You know, well, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I will still come back to you. I like you in the Nigerian community in Toronto, Canada generally. I know you to be an household name that everybody, you know, I like you said me, Animashawun. How has it been, you know, having your own personal organization where you help people and mixing it with, you know, different kind of requests from people from the outside world, and how do people take it?
Basically,
because like you said, in most cases, people you've known before, they probably think, oh no, he's having a foundation because, you know, for his own personal gain. And how are you able to make people understand? You really don't need to convince people because it's a passion. It's what you do. But, you know, how has it been dealing with people, lots of people, like in your own case?
You already answered the question because you have a passion for it, like I said. So if you have a passion, it doesn't matter. And I'm so glad that I have people around me that anytime I want to back out, they always say no.
Support you.
And believe it or not, I never thought I would be able to do this. I never got up for that. But in my growing up, there was one thing that I learned from my parents, especially my mom. My dad is the quiet guy. But my mom, like back home, she was involved in the community and she was like a community leader, so to speak. So I saw all the things she was doing there, helping people. And by the time I came to Canada, all those things that she has done, anywhere I want to go, I always see the glory of God. And I'm thinking maybe because of what my parents did. You understand? That's number. Number two, if you work in a community, if you are in the community and you do things, you're not only helping yourself, you're helping your kids and your family. Like my daughter will tell you, sometimes if they go out, they don't do certain things because they know 1 in 3 or 2 in 3, there is somebody that knows their dad.
Yeah, that knows their dad. Yeah.
Even not Nigerians. Sometimes my daughter, there was a day I was talking with my son and he said he wanted to go out. And the sister was telling her, he said, make sure you tell dad where you are going. Because somebody might see you. And that was the way I was raised to. And I still have one experience that I tell my kids. I remember when I was like 18 or thereabout, back then, there was a lady I was trying to woo them, so to speak. I was interested in her. And unfortunately, the dad was the other side of the world. The dad was the bad group.
Okay.
And I went there. I wasn't involved with whatever they're doing, but I went there and I was sitting down, and a man came to me and said, "Hey, are you not the son of so person?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I closed my eyes before I open it. Get out of this place." You understand? I was around 18 now. That's over 40 years now. And before I could get home, my mom knew about it. You understand? Well, the point I'm trying to make, if that man on that day has not said that to me, I may not be here. Because of that girl that I was trying to woo, I may get involved to impress her. And that is the difference. And that is the thing we don't have in our community now, which is very unfortunate. I'm looking, and that's where I want the community. I wish we could go back to that, where I believe in the fact that it takes two people to have a child, but it takes a community
to train a child.
If a child know that if you do something wrong, there's somebody that can scold you without your parents
getting involved.
Even if your parents know about it, you are in more trouble.
Yeah.
But we don't have that in our community. It's very unfortunate.
That's talking about, the community. This is more about our program to ensure that the younger ones do not go astray. It's a very sad thing that even the younger ones, as much as they try to be a better version of themselves, but whatever they wake up to when they go on social media are promotions of people that they are not supposed to look up to. But because these are the people that are getting the media attention, so we are trying to write this narrative that no, there are lots of people like you, like she, that are doing pretty much well, not following the crowd. This is pretty much why this program is there, and we call it Dignity Discourse. But in the community, in the Nigerian community at large, how have you been able to, advise people and come up with like a program that's going to sensitize them, that see, if you are training your kids in the way and manner that the society is going to be better, we are going to be sure of having less people that are going to go astray, especially the young one. Do you have any way that you are trying to, talk to
Yes,
people? The same question goes to you too, like, talking
Yes.
to younger ones that are your friends. I'll be coming to you. So
Yes, we do that. When I was the president of the Nigerian Canadian Muslim Association, we have a lot of program we do. Part of it was taking the kids in summer. We have camp. They go for like a week. This was a program I was thinking about when my wife was around, but when she passed away, I think we started the following year. That was around 2010 or 11. So in summer we take 1 week off, and all those things that I'm talking about, we don't get paid for it. Was one thing I do, is all free. People that even that go with me, they don't get paid. They take time off and spend their time, volunteering job. So what we do there, we bring all the kids for like a week. They pay token money, but not more than 100. And if you're taking a kid for camping in Canada, you know how much you'll be paying. Yeah. Then you invite people from the Toronto police. We invite people, lawyers, entrepreneurs, people that to come and talk to the kids. And you see some kids for the first time getting out of their house to be with other kids. I think on an average we go with like 100 people. The first time we wanted 25, I think we wanted 50. So we go for like 100 people. We are doing it, but because of COVID and all those things, we've not been able to do it for the past 2 or 3 years now. But those are part of that. Most of the time too, we bring professionals and people that could talk to the mosque to talk to them, and we talk to them and see what can be done to bring them in the right course. But mind you, all this cannot be done unless the parents agree. Also. Because sometimes it's very unfortunate. You see some of the parents doing this and they doing the other thing for the kids. Yeah, that is the unfortunate part of it.
Yeah, it is.
Because I believe that I take responsibility even for my kids. Anything they do before the age of 18, I'm responsible for it.
You're responsible. So
if you are able to raise a kid up to the age of 18 and they are straightforward, I mean, nobody's straightforward per se, and they are good, then you've done a good job. After the age of 18, 21, whatever they do they're responsible for that. Yeah. That is what I believe in.
Yeah, you're right. So what would you say, regarding the trend, like it's almost ruining the younger generation now? Only very few young people are actually trying to see that there are process and procedures to get into a particular place. Among the young ones, among those we've known, among those we've met, what is it out there? What is it like? What is the urge for this urgent success? What is driving it?
There's two
Influence?
things. It's definitely influence, but I think the biggest influence that we never want to acknowledge is the influence of home. As I said earlier, there are some parents who want their kids to only be a lawyer or a doctor. You have to do this, you have to do this. I want to drive range like my...
interest.
Exactly. I suffered for you, so now you have to bring that money in for me. Because of the way that they say it, or maybe because they're not explaining it, kids think, okay, fast money. I need to make my mom happy. I need to make my dad happy. I'm seeing Wizkid. I'm seeing Davido. I got to do this. But they don't realize that there's things that happen behind the scenes, especially a lot of these influencers, celebrities that they look up to that you will never see. You will never see their struggle, but you see the money that they're posting. And so people always think, oh, it's only the money. If I hustle, I'll get to the money. But that in itself is very detrimental to the younger kids. Like I know even too in these last couple of years, and even worse during COVID, one thing that has been very rampant is depression and anxiety. And I was even telling my dad, I think late last year, that I would love to do a seminar with adults on how to manage their kids when they're going through depression. Because even in Africa, it's still yes, we're talking about it now, but it's not something that everybody understands. You may tell your parents, oh, I'm feeling down today. Oh, well, it's because you're not doing your homework. Or, oh, because you're not praying. Like, there's no real support. It's always to attack back first. And that's not what those kids need. They need support at home. They need to understand the real ways at home in order to be able to move outside. And I think too, in a lot of African, even South Asian households, Chinese households, parents aren't always forthcoming about how they struggled for their kids. They always say, oh, I struggled for you. I'm working because of you. But they never tell them what drives them to do it. Why did they come to this country for a better life? Because I find a lot of the kids I know, when their parents break it down to them that, okay, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I want things to be better for you. Those kids now look at it and they're like, And even like my dad said, when we go out, we know that aside from representing our parents, we're representing ourselves. I want to be able to go anywhere in the world and people are like, oh, Amina, I've heard about you. You're a good person. I don't want people to see that girl, don't get close to her. So when the influence at home is right, no matter what they see on social media will not move them, because they know what foundation they're on and how they actually want to grow, how they want to sprout, what kind of tree they want to build. So for me, it's been a lot of not only educating people younger than me, but also educating the older generation, because life has changed. Our
balance.
Exactly. We're living in technology. How to deal. Like parents have WhatsApp, they think that's CNN, but sometimes when they send us stuff, it's like, no, this is not actually real. Somebody started it and just started sending it. And so just understanding and parents allowing, like my father and I with my brothers, we have very open conversations. Like we will have what you're saying to the person, they may not be happy to hear it, but at least you got it out and now they know. So having a healthy relationship at home will help in any community that you go into, because you have that foundation. So that's something that I've been very passionate about in bringing forth and having conversations about, because like I said, everything starts at home.
At home,
That's it. No matter where you go in the world, it's always home that you crave. Always. So yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much. We'll be right back, viewers. We're going to go on a short break now. When we come back, we'll be talking about some other topics and things that we want to hear. Thanks for watching. We'll be right back. Welcome back, viewers. So, thanks for watching once again. We're back, and we'll be wrapping up in a short while. So, Alaji, regarding the foundation, on the final note, what are the programs that you have that are coming up, and who are the people that you may want to say a big thank you to, and how do people get to join or support the organization?
Uh, we have a scholarship of 100,000 naira each for 5 students in post secondary school in Nigeria. Two scholarship for the Kwara State Polytechnic
Okay.
also in Nigeria. That
Okay.
was where my wife passed out. She did HND.
Oh, okay,
program in
okay.
accounting there. So
Oh,
we've
the
done that
school she finished
program.
from.
So also we've done this year we've done 2 scholarship at Fletcher Middle Secondary School. That is
Okay.
where all the kids, my kids, passed
Okay,
out.
graduated from. Okay.
So we gave 2 scholarship to 2 of the students passing
Student
out.
there. Okay.
Then we have 2 also with the Scargo. That is what we do. We do that every year. And also we'll be able to help the Old People Foundation in Nigeria. I
Okay.
think their name is Mogav. They just call us and we did the donation to them. So the next thing we're thinking now, we had a meeting every month. I have a meeting
Okay, with the group.
with my kids and my
Okay.
wife. That is another point I want the family, each family to look at. Every month we sit down and we
plan.
talk. The plan, what is your plan? What is this? And we discuss about it. So the next thing we just acquire some farm in Nigeria, in Lagos State, Badagry.
Oh,
So our plan is to have a school there and be able to help people out.
teach people
Teach
on
people
farming, basically.
on farming and other stuff.
Oh,
Build like
okay.
a hostel there.
Okay.
I hope when very soon I'll be able to retire and probably I will
Okay,
stay
staying there. Okay, okay. So, are there people that you want to say thank you to, or
Yes, a
that?
lot of people, including you, for having us today. Constable Ojo is retired now.
Okay.
He has been of tremendous help to the organization. The Toronto Police, the Scargo, Hard Gold Company, they've been tremendous of my friend Tunde Adekombi and family in London, England, and a lot of people that I can't even mention. There are so many of them.
Oh, okay.
So many of them.
But probably they'll be watching. Yeah. So we say thank you for supporting the Solape Animashawun Foundation. So on the final note, what would you like to say? What are the programs that maybe Alaji forgot to mention that will be coming up, and how do people get to join or support the organization? Your website and your contact information.
I think he covered everything. For us, sometimes we plan for the future, but things happen on the fly.
Yeah.
And sometimes we may get suggestions randomly. I know I recently had somebody reach out to me who is a young lady here in Toronto who had her first child, and so she just started a support group for young mothers in Toronto and wants us to somehow support and get involved. And I told her, no problem, we'll look into it and see. But that kind of process does take time.
Yeah, sure.
I think for us, anybody who is willing to, like my dad has been saying all this time, support, who has the passion for it. Even if you don't know if you have a passion, but you'd like to try out, I think volunteers are always recommended. And even sometimes you don't have to be there physically to volunteer. Volunteering can be sending out our flyers to people. If you know somebody who has the same passion, let them know about us, send them our way. Everything that we've been doing so far is on our organization's website. It's called Animashawun So all of our pictures are there. How to even contact us to volunteer is on there. Both here in Nigeria, here in Canada and here in Canada. Whether it's you want to even make donations, whether that's monetary or material, it's always welcome. That's something we always do. And that's where even the thanks from, people like Toronto Police come in, because they've been supporting us, they've been pushing. And I think even it speaks to how if you're a good person, things will always come back to you. And so I definitely want to commend, my father and my late mother, because that's the people they were. And even, some of my aunties and uncles that I have here in Canada as well, because they started that foundation of supporting people in the community. Now we're reaping from that. They've set amazing seeds, and it's blossoming and it's growing. Also, I want to just very quickly also thank my brothers, because sometimes with boys it can be hard, but they've been pushing through and trying to support in their own way, as well as my stepmother and her family as well. They've been an amazing, tremendous help. So I think for us, we're trying to get to a global level of support. How can we help more people? How can we contact more people? How can we touch more people? And this amazing opportunity that we've had is also getting us into that step, which is great. And I always usually tell people whenever I go to speak that if you're ever going through things and you need somebody to talk to I'm always here.
Okay.
I'm always available. I love hearing people. I don't even have to give you advice back. You can just come, tell me your issues, get it off your shoulders, and then move forward. That's basically us. Anybody can contact us via the website.
Oh, okay. Yes. All right. Do you have any social media platform, or is there any?
Yeah, there's an Instagram.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Solape Animashawun also?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. But before we finish, there's one thing I forgot to say.
Okay.
No,
go ahead.
I want to say a big thank you to my wife, my present wife, stepmother. Without her,
you would have given up. Like, I don't want to do this again.
Because when you have a woman, when somebody is dead and you have another woman, and you're doing things on her behalf, jealousy may come in.
Yeah.
She's a tremendous woman.
Being supportive. Okay. If you're watching, we thank you so much. So, thanks, viewers. We've come to the end of another, wonderful discussion. If you want to reach out to the Solape Animashawun Foundation, you can reach out to us, or you go to the website www.sholapefoundation.com. You want to watch more of our programs, go to www.dignitv.com. We are on all social media handles at DigniTV. Thanks for watching. See you some other time. Bye.